Erik Horne here with Maddie Lee after the Thunder's 106-103 loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Maddie, Thunder had a lot of issues tonight in losing their 7th in 10 games, but it still, for me, continues with the offense. I think they shoot under 40% from the field. I think I went and did the numbers on it. They shot a little bit better than 50% in the restricted area when they're shooting 60% from the restricted area for the season. Missing a lot of layups. They get the good matchups against Dirk Nowitzki and they still can't finish. Dennis Schroeder's getting blocked from behind by a 40-year-old man. Look, the Thunder's offense is in a really bad place, and every game you go into and you don't think it can get much worse. But tonight might have been the new low for the Thunder's offense. And this is coming after, we're a week removed from them stinking it up in Memphis. And this might be the new low for the Thunder offense because of the things that they didn't do against a Dallas team that's really not invested in winning right now.
No, it really might be. And it started off so similarly, so much deja vu where they just can't make a shot they missed what, like 8 or something to start the game. Missed 3 layups before they ever score a point. Crazy. You can't. Paul George said after the game, like, that didn't explain why they lost, but it sure did color the entire game because it continued to happen where they're missing shots that they should make, and it ended up being one of their worst losses of the season, and that's with only a few games left before playoffs.
Look, it's a bad loss from the standpoint that not only do they stay in the 8, but it puts them 2.5 games behind Utah in the 5 seed. And if they wanted to get a chance to get a 4 or 5 matchup, this was probably one of those games that they had to have in that stretch. It's going to be really difficult for them to make up 2.5 games in the last 5 games of the season. That's close to impossible, particularly with Utah having the schedule that they have. Utah is in a stretch where they're not going to play a playoff team for 2 weeks. Portland, despite losing Jusuf Nurkic for the season with that terrible leg break, Portland's not falling off either in the 4 spot. The Clippers are playing well. San Antonio is a team that, they're up and down. They're particularly poor on the road, but would you count on San Antonio finishing with a worse record than the Thunder right now? Of the 8 playoff teams that are qualified right now, the Thunder is clearly playing the worst basketball. They clearly have the most issues, particularly on offense. I think the defense improved in the second half of the Thunder tonight, but even then, they give up big points to guys like Devin Harris and Trey Burke, who look like starters against the Thunder, whether it's the frontline guys or the reserves.
Well, the thing is, Harris and Burke weren't starting on a team that was missing a lot of starters. They had Luka Doncic is probably the most notable guy who was out, but they had no guard depth at all. And this is a team that is playing for nothing. They've been out of the playoff picture for a very long time. And we've been saying that the Thunder keeps playing down to the competition, keeps playing poorly against bad teams, but they didn't win against Denver. And so A, you don't want to play poorly against bad teams, but then B, if you are going to do that, win against good teams, and they haven't done that this week.
Yeah, and there's actually a level of arrogance that the Thunder's playing with right now. Denver goes on that quick burst in the second quarter. Russell Westbrook walks off during the timeout, kind of shaking his head, laughing, and he kind of looks like he's shocked that the whole thing is happening. I don't know why Russell Westbrook was particularly shocked that this was happening. The Thunder wasn't closing out the three-point shooters. Dallas made 10 of their first 18 three-pointers. I bet I said Denver a couple of minutes ago.
You did.
I just realized I said Denver. Y'all know what I mean. All the teams are basically the same right now because the Thunder's not playing well against any of them. But Denver started 10 of 18 from 3.
Dallas.
Wow, again, Dallas. The Mavericks start 10 of 18 from 3. The Thunder does a poor job of closing out to their three-point shooters, whether it's Harris or Burke or even guys like Dwight Powell. Granted, you don't want to have a full running closeout to a big like Dwight Powell, but still, the Thunder's still apprehensive about closing out to the three-point line. They got hurt there tonight, but that wasn't the issue. It was the offense tonight. It continues to be the offense, and the Thunder really struggles to get shots, even against the teams that aren't that great. And when they do get good shots, they're not even finishing them right now, and it's a big problem going into these final 5 games of the season.
Yeah, so coming up next, they have
Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron James, but that frankly doesn't matter because the Mavericks didn't have Luka Doncic tonight. The Lakers aren't going to have LeBron James, but the Lakers didn't have LeBron James and came in here and beat the Thunder, earlier in the year. So whoever is missing for these teams is pretty much irrelevant at this point because the Thunder sometimes doesn't show up.
Yeah. this was, unless you count, this was probably the easiest matchup they're having for the rest of the season. Lakers second easiest, just gets harder from there.
It's irrelevant. Here's some post-game video from Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, and is Billy Donovan around?
Nope.
No Billy Donovan?